What's the best date you ever been on and why? She took me to an outdoor movie.
She took me.
It's a guy saying that.
Hey,
That's
go.
fun. I love that.
Okay, first date now.
Haven't been on one since my divorce 6 years ago.
It's a little personal there, guy.
Yeah. I don't know who's doing it on the first date. Like, there's a time and place for everything.
This is the reason we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
It's because there are people that are constantly out here in this dating world doing it sideways.
No pun intended. Welcome back. This is your podcast, Singles Intervention, with your host, myself, Juju, and your co-host,
Relationship coach, Jeffrey Gutierrez.
and this is episode 1, part 2. So if you tuned into last week, we talked a little bit about dating advice and dating ideas, how to plan the perfect date, and now we're going to talk about what to wear on this perfect date. Okay?
You know a little bit about that.
Yes, of course, because I'm a fashion designer and stylist. So this is really exciting for me to talk about, and we get to deep dive into how colors make a difference and how we're attracted to them. So I wanted to mention some of the things that we spoke about last week. I actually did a poll on IG and asked a couple of men some of these questions, and this is the feedback that I got. So the question was, what's the best date you ever been on and why? And some of them said, haven't been on one since my divorce 6 years ago. Majority of...
It's a little personal there, guy.
Yeah, and well, listen, it's okay. We're not telling them who they are. Majority of the top best dates involve laughing, fun, food, flirting, kissing, and sometimes more. All right. Date to Rise and Why. So much laughs, flirting, kissing, then dinner. Laughed till we cried. What's Rise and Why?
I think he's the only one that actually got the question right.
Yeah, but what is Rise and Why?
It's it's like a ride thing where it's like it's one of those 4D rides.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
I've never done it,
Oh, nice.
but it's cool.
Another person said, she took me to an outdoor movie by the pier with a view of the city. So spontaneous.
She took me.
It's a guy saying
there
that.
you
That's
go.
fun.
I like that.
love that. Here goes the one I was telling you about. Taking her to the botanical garden and learning each other's love language. That's dope. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Then there was another question that I asked everyone, well, the fellas specifically. What was the worst date you ever been on and why?
The worst.
Someone said she catfished me with her own photos when she was like 80 pounds slimmer. Car broke down and we had to ride a tow truck back home. She claims I have a lot of green flags, but apparently I'm not biblical enough for her. The worst date is a girl using me to buy her some boots, and she used them to walk out on me. I don't mean to laugh, but that was clever, and that sucks for you.
You buy the boots, bro.
Yeah, I don't know who's doing it on the first date.
I don't think he heard dating on the budget.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think he was just trying
out of
to
budget, bro.
impress, which is okay,
Bro.
right? Then we went and asked the ladies the same exact question. Are you curious to know what they said?
Very curious.
Okay, we asked the ladies what was the best date they've ever been on. It was hot and nice out, fun activities and good conversation. Okay, one was jet skis and then dinner and then kayaking and then dinner and then that was fun.
Wow, that was a lot of
Yeah, a lot
activity.
of events. Sunset by the beach, food, drinks, games, just overall intimacy of it and privacy.
I like that.
I like that. Pick me up with his driver, drinks on the rooftop, ordered one of everything on the menu. That's cute.
All
So he
right.
ordered everything on
She
the
went out
menu.
with Batman. Great.
All right. The thoughtfulness, the energy between the two of us, no pressure vibes. I've been on dates, but they weren't the best. Maybe one day. The next question I asked the ladies was, what's the worst date you ever been on and why? They said, we were going to go out and it never happened. Always
Okay.
happens.
Yeah.
It says, okay, guy wanted to share a sandwich of his choosing, which I'm a picky person.
Sharing food in like a first date?
Yeah, no, I don't know what
Nah.
who you've been kissing or
Come on now. You could buy another sandwich.
Yeah. How's that SED result check up been? When's the last time you got checked? Anyways,
I don't know you
asking
get that from a
me
sandwich though.
Huh?
just a sandwich. I think you
Is
get
it
that from
though?
a
But there's
sandwich, though.
saliva, there's DNA being swapped. What if you
What's the next
have a
one?
cold
What's the
sore?
next
Yeah,
one?
okay,
All right,
great. Asking me if I wanted to go get 99-cent pizza. That's funny.
Budget. Yeah,
That guy was really on a budget.
Real
That
budget.
was
That's big budget.
really a budget, guys.
Okay.
This guy took me out on an expensive restaurant and talked all night about what he had. Boring. Yeah. In a mall to watch a movie, I was uncomfortable, sweaty profusely, had to buy and change outfits.
Wow, watch a movie. No, bro, not it's like high school, maybe.
That was my mom.
Yeah.
That was my mom who said that.
Oh,
I don't think she was in high school when that happened. Going to the club because he wanted to club and me go home with him. Yeah. Wow. That's not. I wouldn't
yeah, a
consider
couple
that a
of bad
date.
dates. Nah,
That's a lot. Yeah. And then another question I asked the ladies, which I didn't ask the men. What would be your perfect first date and why?
Okay, first date now.
First date. We're talking about the first date now.
Okay.
Zip lining. Show how adventurous you are. See, I'm not crazy. There's method to my madness when I say certain things. Just
Okay.
you gotta listen.
Zip lining.
Either on a 7-day cruise or on a beautiful island.
On a 7-day
Now we're talking.
on the first date?
Yo,
A 7-day
I
cruise
didn't
on
say
the
all
first
that.
date?
I didn't say all that. I don't know. That's
I don't
crazy.
think she understood the question.
I don't think so either. Going with the flow always makes my date more fun, but let a man take me on a yacht?
Who are these girls?
I-
This is not the first date stuff, guys. First date.
I think I said the perfect first date. I think they just got stuck on perfect and then forgot the first and then put date. So they put perfect date. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
cooking class or do something I've never done that's chill.
I like that.
First dates are the best where you can hear each other and conversate, stroll through the pier, picnic at a park. See, we were onto something
I like that.
last episode. Then this other person says, I don't know, maybe a helicopter ride or eating in the sky.
First date?
Listen, that's what this said.
Wow.
I didn't make it up. But the girls have spoken and the guys also did. So
Very different, by the way.
Reverie. But as you can see, what I wanted to talk about is that women said about a restaurant, and they mentioned that in their worst date part. And is it important to pick the right restaurant for the first date? That's kind of what I want to know.
And there was some extravagance in the first dates that they talked about, which you were talking like the other way around. Like, oh, don't flaunt what you have.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Helicopter ride is.
But there's women out there who
little
are
bit of
clearly
flying.
bougie and like extravagant things. So this is why we suggest you ask the right questions prior to planning your perfect date. But let's move on to what you should wear to these dates according to where you're going, right?
Okay.
So in this segment, fashion and attraction and dating, we're gonna go and talk about first impressions and what you wear. Fashion, it plays a big part in this day and age because people are so showy, and we have rappers and artists that are like really big on self-expression and or representing brands, which has always been a thing. But I feel like now in this day and age, and specifically where do you live, fashion does play a big part of how we identify ourselves, right?
Yeah, it matters.
So how do colors influence attraction and confidence? I really think it's how we perceive color and how colors make us feel. And I really love to talk deeply more about colorology, color psychology. Colors within itself, it's such a big topic because here in the tri-state area, we're used to wearing black, grays, and whites, mainly because we're, work a 9 to 5, or it's just neutral colors, right? But in reality, on a date, you should try to stay away from that and be a little bit more colorful or a little bit more open with your wardrobe, specifically when you are getting to know someone, right? Colors can make us feel all types of things. Red is alarming, it could be exciting, it could be energetic, things like that. And blue is, it gives, it's social, it's community, it's communication. So I want to deep dive into specific colors. So specifically red. Red is warning, they're in signals, they're in stop signs. On the other end, it represents sensuality, passion, love, excitement. To name a few, we have Netflix, right? Netflix is excitement, all right? That's why they chose it red. What if Netflix was purple?
I don't know. I think it's a good point because not all of us understand colors like
Right.
a stylist would, right? I think if you're gonna go on a date with a stylist, you might want to look this stuff up as well. Yeah.
Not necessarily yes and no, because we understand that the average foe doesn't really necessarily have fashion sense in that aspect, and most stylists don't even know what I'm talking about because they don't. I consider myself a little bit different than the average stylist because I take these things in consideration because. A little do you know, my dad is a construction worker, and as a kid, I used to go on sites with him. I would build things or whatever. We would paint walls, and I learned home decor, and I learned how to paint walls certain colors in certain rooms because psychology makes the mind think something else. So if you go to a children's office, the waiting area would most likely be an eggshell yellow, right? Do we understand why that is? No, but when we're there, we feel at peace. We feel it's happiness is what yellow stands for.
When you think of colors and what people wear, do you think that it's more about what it does to them or what it does to the person that they're going out with? So you have certain colors that will make people's eyes light up more or
Right.
skin tone
Sure.
light up differently, right? So
Yeah.
should people be taking into account the colors that they wear so that it makes them look a certain way, or should a person think about the colors that they wear
To attract someone else?
to attract somebody else? Oh, I'm gonna wear red because I want to look fierce, right? Is it
Right.
like that?
No, I think this is where we talk about the confidence and how colors help you feel confident. It's also about how the color makes you feel, not necessarily the other person. Because when you're confident, then that radiates, right? And now that person is no longer necessarily looking at your color, but more at your confidence. So I think it's about self and understanding how you feel and what colors make you feel more so than the other person. Because that whatever feeling you feel when you wear something is going to just emulate onto the next person subconsciously, right? It's an energy of transfer, right? So for instance, one, alert, right? Going back to what red means, warning, stop signs. There's passion, there's fun, excitement. Netflix, Marvel, Coca-Cola. You know,
So can I wear red
where
to the date?
depends where you're going.
Oh, where would you wear red then?
It's not about where; it's about how you're feeling in the moment and what you want to implement, right? So, like, if you're going out, red is to be worn. Maybe, you know, when you're maybe at the nightclub,
Okay.
right?
So if I take her out to like a club or a lounge or a concert,
Yeah,
red might
those
be a
are
good color.
appropriate. Yeah.
Got it.
But now here's the difference about colorology, which is we'll deep dive into that a little bit later, but I don't want to this could be a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, is the different shades of colors. A stylist like myself or a fashion person pays attention
I
to.
think it's important.
And it's very important for you to just know the difference of how not only your mood, but what you implement, right? Based off what you wear, what makes you feel confident or whatever the case it is, will spill over into your energy that you can't lie about. You can't fake that, right? Because if you wear green and that's not your color or whatever on a date because you're trying to show off, I'm gonna feel the insecurity in your energy.
How do I know if it's my color?
Well, what is your favorite color, Jeff? Let's start there.
Blue.
Blue? What shade of blue?
Royal blue.
Why?
No idea.
Great. I'm going to tell you why, because that's actually the next color we're going to talk about. Blue implements trust, communication, security, loyalty, intellect. Dell, Blue Cross, Twitter, IBM, Dasani. Now, understanding what blue implements, do you understand why these businesses picked that color for their business? Chase, it's a bank. They want you to trust them. Post office, communication, loyalty, trust. It makes us feel, that's why, I don't know if you ever heard this statement, wear a blue tie or blue shirt to an interview. Because one is going to help with your communication. This goes so deep into like even chakras and energies and auras. We're not going to get that deep. But when you understand those things, that's what implements that particular chakra. So for orange, which is what I'm wearing today, right? It stands for success, friendliness, adventure, sociability, warmth, innovation, confidence, art, and entertainment. And it's usually in food, sports, art, entertainment, like Fanta, Hooters, Payless, Nickelodeon, Home Depot. To tie it all back in, right, as to why I went deep into explaining these different colors or whatever, specifically my outfit today, I'm wearing orange and green, and when this is where we get too deep into it, so we're gonna cut it off, but when I wear orange and green, it implements that I'm wearing brown, and brown is a nice color, it's a fall color, because when you mix the two colors, makes brown, right? But what our eye does with us when you're matching, and that's why I feel like women are so in tune to a man having a fashion sense, why I think it's important to be able to complement specifically your eyes, right? Or your skin tone, and understanding how those colors play against you can boost your confidence. So just tap into doing a little research of what colors are and understanding what colors, when you see different colors, what they make you feel. And if you, like you said, your favorite color is blue, when you look at blue, although you don't know, it makes you feel some type of way, right? And most likely happy thoughts, right? And we went over blue and what it actually means, and it makes sense why you like blue.
Yep.
Right? So I think that one, when you're planning to, you're planning a date or whatever, wear something not only that is colorful or whatever, but maybe even a piece. Maybe you don't know how to speak or start a conversation, but maybe it's your favorite hat, or maybe it's your favorite handkerchief. Maybe it's your favorite watch or bracelet, or your favorite ring. All these things can start a conversation, and it can even be as simple as your favorite color that you wear on a date that can help you and boost your confidence, because when you are in alignment with what you know, that's when you're confident. So if you get nervous on a date or something and somebody, hey Jeff, I love your glasses, where are they from? Where are they from?
Oh,
Jeff?
Warby Parker.
You see, you knew that. You didn't have to second guess yourself, or you knew that because you wear it every day and you bought it and whatever the case may be, right? So do that when you're thinking about your next outfit for your first date.
Yeah. So and there is an emotional connection to that, and I love that you said that, because truly, if you wear something or you have something that is familiar to you, it'll absolutely boost your confidence, and lower your levels of anxiety, because it's something it's something that unconsciously it's familiar to you, so it raises your security.
Yeah.
So I love that idea of wearing like maybe your favorite shirt or your favorite scarf or your favorite hat, right? Because that will absolutely lower your levels of anxiety.
So the question is, does fashion really impact who we are attracted to?
I definitely think so.
Yeah.
I think as a man, I am attracted to certain things that women wear, and I could also be turned off about certain things that women wear. So I'm sure it's the same thing for women. Women have said to me, oh, when you wear a button-down shirt, I really like that, or I really like that blazer, or I really like that shirt. So I'm sure it matters to you as a woman as well.
Yeah, and I think it does for me, especially when I'm attracted to. Definitely no one with their pants sagging below their ass is attractive to anyone. That's a write-off, I think, across the board. But again, that's just an opinion, not a fact. But I think someone that just has a sense of style. It doesn't have to match. It could just be like one of a kind pieces. It could be vintage clothing. Like it can just be an era that you live in or something like that. Because again, pertaining back to what we are attracted to in our closet based on how we feel, fashion is a way of how we express ourselves, specifically in that day. So if I've noticed that this person, all his stuff is just black and white, I subconsciously are gonna think this person reserved. It doesn't give me like, oh, this person's adventurous, so that's me understanding colors on a different scale, or like style on a different scale. But I think to the average foe, it can still, make that person assume something based off what they wear.
How about things like skirts and dresses and pants on a female, or shorts, ripped jeans, sandals on a man? those things?
So I think that is it has to be appropriate to the occasion. Like there's a time and place for everything. You know what I mean? If I'm on a resort and I'm wearing a thong, like can't tell me nothing. Like I'm on vacation. But if I was back home doing the same thing, you better, you know what I'm saying? You better pull me aside, sis. What you doing? You know what I mean? Ripped jeans on on a man. Hey, it could be swaggy, you know. That could be a thing. Maybe he wants to dress a little urban today because he's going to the movies, something a little bit less casual. You know what I mean? Like maybe he's expressing himself. Sandals too, you know. Like if you're wearing sandals and it's snowing outside, my man's, what we doing? So you see how there's a time and place for certain things. I think women though and men should wear things that fit them, and it's not too tight. Like if you bend over, you might rip a seam. Or if you know, take a deep breath, a button may pop out. Like we want to make sure things fit us appropriately. And I think that's also this day and age why a lot of brands are doing the loungewear and the oversized look. Because one, it's just always comfortable to wear something that isn't so tight on you. You know what I mean? And then two, it's just something to throw on. It's the trend now. Oversize everything, you know?
Is that something that you talk about with a person you're going out with or on a date with? I don't like when you wear that. Or do you just take note, like a mental note? His style is not really what I like. It's not something I'm going to say to him.
Right.
I don't really like that you don't wear any button-down shirts. Right? Or do you say that to him?
So I think the way to ask a question if you want to know someone's sense of style is, who are you usually influenced by, like designer-wise? And then you can get a gauge. Does he know any designer brands? Does he even understand the question? You know what I mean? Like versus saying, why don't you wear button-down shirts? Do you own a button-down shirt? Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's, you know, it's kind of rude in a way. But I think it's just how you ask the question to get the answer that you want without having to be so blunt about it, I guess. So I would definitely ask, hey, what's your, you know, like, or where's the fanciest place you've ever been? You know what I mean? Or things like that it can help me gauge what he has in his closet or what he doesn't. And for girls too, I think it's okay to ask a woman. I think it's okay to express to another person that you know for quite some time, hey, where'd you get that shirt? Hey, where'd you get those glasses, Jeff? And then that can naturally grow into a conversation. Oh yeah, no, I don't know. I think I could probably see you with like some clear lenses. Have you ever tried that before? You see how it doesn't feel so like I'm making fun of you. I'm actually engaging and having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Where you don't feel subconscious about what you're wearing or what you like.
There were some great elements of how you communicated that.
Yeah.
You know, which I think are very important.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's very important it's okay to express that you may not like something, but don't be so upfront in that approach. Be more so try to find out, because maybe they do. You just haven't seen that side yet. You know.
Are there some things that you think no man should wear, or does it really always depend? And are there some things that maybe you don't like to see in a man?
See, it varies. It varies. It depends on the height, depends on the size of the person, of the guy. Some guys could pull off a skirt, and I'm not questioning their sexuality, you know what I mean? Or there's some guys that could pull off a mesh dress, and yes, honey, you know what I mean? So it's...
What would that be for you?
For me, yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay for a man that's comfortable in his sexuality and he uses fashion to express himself.
Good.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that you would say no to?
I mean, if you wear my underwear and bra, we're going to have a conversation.
Okay. So cross-dressing is the line.
I just have to understand. I would have to understand why this is a thing before I just write you off. And I think that's the issue here, that people are just like, oh, this person just burped in public. He has no manners. I don't like him.
Yeah.
But maybe he just couldn't hold it. You know, like people just don't try to understand why somebody does something or think a certain way before writing them off.
I think as a man, there is more of a constant conversation between us as men where we talk about what the girl is wearing.
Yeah.
And I think for some men, there are write-offs. You know, it's like, she doesn't she's always wearing sneakers. She can't wear heels, and some men might not like that.
But do you know why she's just always wearing sneakers?
Well, I think that's the thing. I think that there are some men that are very particular about what they see and what they find attractive in a girl.
Sure.
I also think there are some women like that. I think while you as a stylist can be very open,
Yeah.
I don't think that that's all women.
Sure.
I think there are definitely women that are like, yeah, I don't like, well, you did say something. Actually, you said baggy jeans, right? Like that.
Below the waist.
Below
yeah.
the waist. That's a big no-go for you.
Yeah.
You would even say that's a no-go for any man.
Yeah.
See? So that's something where to another man, that might be stylish.
Yeah.
And to another girl, that might be
Okay.
okay.
In retrospect, yes, you know, I mean, like there are limits to things and what we are attracted to and what we're not. And it's also about how you were raised, where you were raised at. You know what I mean? If you were raised and I'm sure in Paris, you know what I mean, you're gonna have a sense of fashion because that is such a thing. New York, it's so expressive with what we wear. You know, Miami is less than there is more, you know?
It can also be religion based.
That
right?
too.
So how much skin you show as both a man and a woman.
Yeah.
You know, that in dating is going to be important. Right?
So
if you're dating a Muslim man, you may have to watch out with how much skin you're showing.
Right. Take that, be mindful.
Yeah.
Would you write a girl off based on what she wears for the first date?
Would I write her off because she's wearing something that to me is not that great? No, I don't think I would right away. But like you said before, and like we've talked about in previous segments, it's that data that we're taking, right? Now it's that's a note in my book. Is this what she dresses like all the time? I don't know yet, but this is a note that I might be taking myself and saying, okay, well, let me see. Maybe that was just that day.
Yeah, but you know, I think it's also how you represent. Because if you could dress nice and you come wrinkled, my mans, do you own an iron? You know what I mean? Or you can dress nice and you got shit stains on your underwear. Do you not wipe your, you know what I'm saying? Like that I think is what I would take more account to than more so what you wear. Because I can't, again, my expectations on people's sense of fashion isn't high. It's not high because
as a stylist,
as a person, isn't high because what I think is common sense isn't common sense to everyone else. You know what I mean? So that's I can't rate you off of how you dress first day. Yeah. I there's a lot of wiggle room for me in that. So
yeah, I don't think you should be written off first day for many things. I mean, I think there are some things that you can be written off for, but I think many things you shouldn't. Something like style shouldn't be something you write somebody off. I
know some people who do it.
Yeah, but I think that this is the reason we're having this conversation is because there are people that are constantly out here in this dating world doing it sideways. Maybe that's not the right word.
No pun intended.
Because I have a negative connotation to it.
Yeah.
There's some people out here doing it in other ways that they shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. And again, all that comes from inner self and how we speak to ourselves, and it goes into projecting. A lot that is what I've learned being single in my personal healing journey is that we project and reflect so often onto others and how we speak and how we view things and how we see things that even the write-offs that we give someone is maybe because it happened to us subconsciously. So now we're doing it to the next person. You know what I mean? Or it's we're being nitpicky because we were raised by a nitpicky person. You know what I'm saying? Or it's the insecurities or it's the ego in us that are telling us, oh no, you can't be here, we gotta go. So find something wrong about this person. You know, it's the self-sabotage that happens.
Yeah.
So let's pivot a little. I'm gonna take you over to the Coach's Corner and hear a little bit more about what Jeff has to say about fashion in dating.
Welcome to the Coach's Corner. I am Jeff, your relationship coach. We just spoke about style, right? It's really difficult sometimes to think about what it is I'm going to wear, how I'm going to act, what I'm going to say, where I'm going to go, right, on a date. Confidence, what is that? What is confidence? Confidence is the belief in yourself, right? And here's the thing. Think about that word belief, right? What does that belief mean? Right? It doesn't mean that it has to be what you need it to be. You just have to believe that it is, right? So confidence is really about what you have inside, who you want to be. Think about this. When you're first dating somebody, when you're first getting to know them, they don't know your past. They haven't been with you through every single obstacle you've had in your life. They know who you are today. You get to create yourself new to that person, to that individual. You get to be who you want to be. Let's talk about how important it is to be confident when you date. Why is it important for you to put your best foot forward? Because it's the representation of you. It's a representation of yourself. It's the person that they are looking at. Okay? It's the person that you are being in front of them. You are a representation of you. Regardless of what's going on around you, you have to understand that when you're in that room with that person, it's only about you and them. When you're confident on a date, you show that individual who you see within yourself. Maybe you don't feel that confident in your regular life. Maybe you're dating because you feel a little lonely. What's that gonna bring? Think about this. Who you are is who you're going to attract. So if you don't feel like you're confident in yourself, in your daily life, you might attract people who might take advantage of that. You might attract people who may not be confident in themselves. Remember that confidence is a belief system, right? Is you believing in something. So if you could believe in yourself, then that other person may as well. Why does it even matter? Confidence is why you do anything in life. Confidence is how you got that date. Confidence doesn't have to mean everything. You don't have to be the Casanova, the best looking, the best whatever, the richest person. That's not about confidence. See, confidence is internal. It comes from the inside of you. It's not external to what you have, right? Society has shaped for us what it means for us to be confident. And it also has created for us what it means to not be confident, right? Because you're a certain color, you're a certain height, you're a certain weight. You know, all that stuff is constructs that society has created for you. But confidence, again, remember, what is it? It's a belief system. It's a belief what you have inside. It's a belief in yourself. Let's think about attraction. What creates it and what diminishes it. When you think about attraction, certain key things you need to make sure you do while on a date. One big important thing is pay attention. That's really something that's hard for people, right? Because that's important. What were your favorite dates? Now, what happened in that date that made you so attracted to this person? I don't know if anybody remembers the movie Hitch. If you haven't seen it, it's a great Will Smith movie. In that movie where he says, anybody could be attracted to anybody. It just matters the stimulus that you put them under. And I believe in that, right? Because I think if you really want to be attracted to somebody, you can be. But what's the scenery that you're going to create? They might not be attracted to your physicality. They might not be attracted to your style. They might not be attracted to your presence or to the certain place, right? But out of all these things that create attraction, how many of those things have you checked off? Because that's what's going to create attraction. But you know what really creates attraction, especially when you're speaking to somebody? Eye contact. New York Times put out a research study on eye contact, and they put people together for 30 seconds of just looking at themselves in their eyes. They saw that people that were maybe initially attracted a little bit grew in their attraction substantially just by staring at each other's eyes. Because many times we put attention everywhere else but the person that we're going out with. That diminishes attraction. Because if the person that you're on the other side of feels like you're not listening to them, like you're not following up with their conversation, then that's going to lower their level of attraction towards you. See, physicality is easy. You can be very physically attracted to that person. But then what? What's the substance behind that? When you're sitting in that date with that person, how are you really connecting with them? Am I being attracted to that person? Do I find that person attractive? Because that's the other part. You're also taking in data. Remember that, right? You're taking in data. So what are the parts of that individual that you find attractive? It has to go past just what you see with your eyes, but what you hear with your ears. And with that, always remember, date intentionally, date patiently, and date with care, but always keep on dating.
And we are back from the Coach's Corner as he just finished going over the confidence in dating. Let's do a recap of this episode. We went over colorology and how important colors really play a factor into your styling when you're dating, going on your first date. 2, first impressions don't really mean much. You know, don't write someone off because they may not know how to dress. Maybe they were nervous, who knows, and they underdressed. And 3, just making sure that you are confident in whatever you wear and wearing that particular item to help you boost your confidence, whether it's a watch, whether it's a brooch, whether it's your favorite necklace or favorite shoes. And that can help you boost your confidence on a date. So I hope you really enjoyed this episode. I know it was for my fashionistas more than anything, but please comment below, what is your favorite thing to wear? What is, you know, your favorite thing to see on a guy wear? Vice versa, what is your favorite thing to see a girl wear on the first date? Don't forget, next week we'll be going over online dating.
Oh, that's a big one.
Online dating is huge in this day and age. So episode 2 has all the goody stuff about all the apps. Yeah, and how it's changing our society. Anyways, until next time, see you later. I'm your co-host Juju, and this is my co-host.
And I'm Jeff. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.